Welcome to another episode of TwoMuchWise.
This is the Gita Expedition series where we explore the timeless wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita, verse by verse and chapter by chapter.
All that we discuss here is what we've heard from perfected teachers and spiritualists from the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. None of this is our own analysis.
If you're here for the first time, then we recommend that you watch the warm-up series of the Bhagavad Gita where we introduce some concepts of the Gita for the first time.
This episode is better heard than watched. You can hear it while taking a walk, while driving, cooking, or even walking out.
We've had a lot of fun recording this, and we hope that it's an enriching experience for all of you as well. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Reading from the Bhagavad Gita Chapter 1, Shlok 27 and 28. Tan samikshya sakanteya sarvan bandhunavasthitan kripaya paryavishto vishedanidam abravit. Arjuna vacha drishtve swajanam krishna yuyutsam samupashtitam sidanti mama gatrani mukham cha parishushyati. Translations. When the son of Kunti Arjun saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, he became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus. Arjun said, "My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me, in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up."
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
These are such power-packed verses. Not one of the oft-quoted ones, because these are seen as mostly connectors, transitory verses. But because even in our study, these are not verses that you really focus on too much, right? For example, the Prabhupada also, in one of the things, he doesn't talk too much about it. But because we are doing this, we're taking up a couple of verses at a time, and I'm just so happy that we're doing this, bro, because we just took these two verses, and because only these two verses were the focus, I could feel the gravity of the situation. I
Yeah.
can't convey it, but can you imagine? Aap imagine karo.
Yeah, yeah.
There's
I'm
this
getting
fighter.
you. I'm getting
Yeah,
you. Normally, we just read in the flow, so we don't
flow.
pause to
Yeah,
think what's happening. Yeah, continue, Prabhu.
yeah. Yeah, so in that sense, I because this gave us the opportunity to do it, I just felt it ki it's a warrior. I don't know, like Rambo person. I mean, don't think Rambo is not too it's in the fantastic realm, but like a hero, like a very grave soldier, right? A soldier, war torn soldier, right? Before a war, he'll not be thinking of all of this. But same soldier, agar apne family ke samne, if you put that person in front of your whole family and say fight, obviously this is going to
Yeah.
happen, right? This is so natural. As scriptures, if you think of them as conversation and actually you put yourself in that situation, they're actually so natural, it's so
Mm,
flowing
mm,
naturally. That, and this is something that I just realized, it hit
yeah,
me when I was
yeah.
reading it today.
And but it hit you. But when we were reading the first few shlokas, the first initial
Yeah.
shlokas of the same chapter, at that time
Hmm.
Duryodhan was also facing his own family, right? And
Yeah, yeah,
Duryodhan was describing who all are on his side, who all are on the
yeah,
opponent side. Uh, but
yeah,
he wasn't feeling like Arjun. He wasn't feeling like you're feeling right now.
yeah.
See, for it seems very
Oh yeah,
natural
that's
to
true.
us,
Like,
but for Duryodhan
yeah,
it wasn't like this.
we don't see like that because it's always like preconceived, hum leke aate the Duryodhan is a
Yeah,
villain. But if you think about it, these are two
yeah,
brothers, both are kshatriyas, both are
yeah,
soldiers, seasoned fighters, seeing each other's family
yeah,
against each other and about
yeah,
to fight. But the reactions are so they're opposite,
mm,
diametrically opposite to
yeah.
each other.
And that's
Duryodhan, yeah, Duryodhan just thinking, oh, kitne log aaye, who all are come, oh, this person has done this, like he's just trying to see how to just get what he wants by winning this war. Whatever I have to do, I will
uh-huh.
do that. And on the other side, what is Arjun thinking, bro? If you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, Arjun is he's feeling bad about it. He doesn't
Yeah,
like it.
yeah. He doesn't like it.
Duryodhan is like measuring up this person. on their side
Yeah.
versus this person on my side. Arjun can't
Yeah.
go to that level of matching and competition. He's just like, oh my
Yeah.
god, like I'm fighting them, and he's actually not only thinking about the family. Prabhupada describes what the other acharyas tell us, that Arjun is also thinking about the soldiers in that army,
Soldiers.
the
Yeah.
soldiers in
Yeah.
this army. He's thinking about
Yeah.
everybody, and he's feeling like, why should everyone go through so much pain? you know.
Yeah.
So
He's being so compassionate here. He's showing his good
mhm,
heart, like a nice soft heart that he has. He's a warrior, hard
right.
warrior, right? But a warrior can also have a
Soft,
soft
yeah,
heart, and that's
yeah,
what, like, a good person is a good person. Whatever situation, whatever role that you put them in, you have to do your duty, you have to do your job. But a good person is a good
yeah,
person inside, and that's
yeah,
what you get to see here, you get to
yeah.
glimpse her
Like
basically.
Arjun is
uh,
ultimately he's going to fight, right? All the feeling
yeah.
compassionate. So, I mean, we'll go through his entire
Yeah.
journey of, is this compassion good enough for him to not fight or not? That's an entire journey
Yeah.
we'll do over chapter number 2. Uh, but if you put this in today's time, in our everyday time, you'll see, if you've had a good boss and that good boss has had to
Mm.
fire somebody, he'll fire because it's not
Yeah.
in his control.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
employee roll cut, he has to ask somebody to leave, but that person is going to feel
Yeah.
really bad, and possibly he'll go out of the way
Right.
to help the person who's
Yeah.
leaving, help him find another job. So as you said, a good person is a
Exactly.
good
Yeah.
person, despite the
Yeah.
circumstances, and that's what's happening right
Yeah, that's a very, very good example, bro. I think I don't know what's happening in your office right now, but but that's a very good example that's out there. But that's correct, right? Like, if someone's in a position to do something, and the duty seemingly is one that is, quite cruel, but that person is not cruel, and you can do a seemingly cruel act, or a inflicting act with a good heart, in a good intention, and that
now. Yeah.
shows, when a person is meaning good for you, even while doing something which is like a good
Mhm.
judge, right? Like, even while meting out a judgment, they will be doing it with
Yeah.
compassion. Please, like, you've done this, you will get this sentence. But while doing it, vengefully kar raha hai, spitefully kar raha hai, yeah, actually means good for you. You can actually
Yeah.
feel it, you can
Yeah.
see it,
Yeah.
if not in that very moment, over a
Yeah.
period of time.
Yeah. The purport of the 28th verse, I have like a personal journey associated with it. Uh,
Mm,
Prabhupada, we keep mentioning Prabhupada across our episodes.
yeah.
So I'll quickly just tell who's Prabhupada. Prabhupada is the
Yeah.
one who's compiled this Bhagavad Gita for us after reading Bhagavad Gita purports of various acharyas from the past. So Prabhupada
Yeah.
here, he writes something in one sentence which is so powerful. He writes that
Yeah.
this was soft-heartedness of Arjuna. This wasn't his weakness.
Weak heartedness.
when
Yeah.
when I read this, it was like, oh
Yeah.
my god, this, I've been really troubled with this entire piece of weakness and soft-hearted. I never had words to express what I was going through,
Yeah.
but I went through it. In the sense, many times I
Right.
felt like somebody else is doing harm to someone. In that situation, I'll not be able to do harm. Although I
Yeah.
should, and in the sense, not harm, but like do the right thing. And while doing the right thing, I used to feel bad, but I would go ahead and do it.
Mm.
But I used to
Yeah.
always feel like, what is this? Like, the other person is doing something which can be detrimental
Yeah.
for the other person, but this other this he has to do it, and when I do the same thing, I feel a lot towards the victim, but I still do it.
Right.
Why is this happening to me? And then I understood, there is a weakness and there is soft hardness. I'm not weak, it's
Soft. Yeah.
just I don't know why
Yeah.
I'm feeling soft hearted right
Yeah.
now. uh, I don't
Yeah.
know if you follow me.
One
I
of our
used a lot of
I,
pronouns.
I get it. I have like a related thing. Like, this, we know, both of us have a mutual friend, Raja Prabhu. So he usually, initially when he got into the study of Bhagavad Gita, he came up to me and he's like, I've started to practice this Bhakti Yoga with all of you, and I've started to see a higher, higher state of being, but I'm scared. Do I really want this or not? Why? Why he said that? He's like, if I feel that if I take the higher vision, I come off as
Yeah,
weak. I'm very confused, that am I coming off as weak in my office environment? Will people say that, oh, you can trod over him, you can basically push him over, and then he'll not say anything? So he had that conflict going on in his head, Raja Prabhu, like such a deep thought. He's like, will I come off as weak, or this is where it gets
yeah,
sorted off, that being soft-hearted is good. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're
yeah,
weak, and your actions will not necessarily change, but your internal consciousness, that is what will
yeah,
actually
yeah.
change.
So Arjun here, he's feeling really bad, but that doesn't mean he's weak.
yeah,
He's feeling bad
yeah,
thinking of the pain that everyone will have to go through. and
yes,
and I
yeah,
could I just to further explain what we are saying, I can quickly think of an example and quickly relay an example. Again, personal journey. This is a few years back. I remember I was driving, and there was an e-rickshaw. Delhi and e-rickshaws is like mosquitoes in a dark room. There's so many of them. So there's an
yeah,
e-rickshaw, he hit a car. It was the e-rickshaws mistake.
yeah,
The guy got out of the car.
mm,
The guy blasted him, punched him, kicked
yeah,
him, got him down on his knees
oh
till a
God,
crowd came together and saved the rickshaw guy. This is road rage. This is
mm,
very common. This is the first time I was seeing it. Okay. And I was like, what
mm,
just, I became numb. Okay. Because I was like, why is he doing
yeah,
this? And I just, too many thoughts.
yeah,
A few weeks later, the same thing happened to me. Okay.
okay,
I was driving, an e rickshaw guy hit me.
yeah,
It was his
uh-huh,
mistake. I got out of the car
mm,
and I could just think of that guy. And I felt like, you know what?
yeah,
That guy hit him. And everyone around was like, he did the right thing. The e-rickshaw guy deserved it.
mm,
It was his
yeah,
mistake. Although they saved him, they said it was his mistake. I was thinking, I can't hit him. So will I be judged
mm,
as a wrong for not hitting, not shouting, etc.?
or
Or
even weak, or even
exactly,
weak,
or weak,
yeah,
weak.
scared,
Will I be like,
yeah,
oh, this guy met a e-rickshaw guy, had a good day. He bumped into a guy who was very, anyhow, he was a kid, very
yeah,
weak guy.
yeah,
And then I thought, no, I don't want to cause him pain. Simple. So of course, I went
mm,
on to him.
yeah,
I made sure, in a good, it's a tough words, I let him know that he needs to be
yeah,
careful, and I'm letting him go.
yeah,
I did that. But all of
mm,
this was because I started understanding this line of difference between weak-heartedness
yeah,
and weakness and soft-heartedness.
yeah, yeah. And it's a journey. I feel like we, even while knowing all of this, we might just do things which are Duryodhan-esque, and in some moments we might remember Arjun's words and his feeling, and we might feel like doing that. It's a personal journey that all of us go through. But what these verses do is they just open that
Yeah,
up for
yeah,
us, like a cotton
yeah.
ball. Cotton ball, you can open it up and you can see each resha, each thread. This opens up our own emotional state of mind and opens it up for us, and then puts it in front of us and says,
Yeah,
choose what you
yeah,
want to do, which one are you getting influenced
yeah.
by. That's
And
what
and
it
it
does.
verbalizes
Yeah,
subconscious emotions
verbalizes it.
so
Yeah,
well. Something we cannot
yeah,
verbalize,
yeah,
the Shastra verbalizes it for
yeah,
us, and then we can relate it so
right,
nicely in our life. Also
yeah,
important to
yeah,
mention here, whether I hit the rickshaw car, Arjun fought the war or not, that's a
yeah,
different discussion altogether. That's about duty.
mm,
But what he's
yeah,
feeling right now is not the feeling of
correct,
weakness, is the feeling of
yeah,
soft-heartedness. We need to know the difference.
yeah,
You can be soft-hearted,
yeah,
but if you need to act tough, you got to act tough.
yeah,
If you're acting
yeah. And
tough, it
Prabhupada,
doesn't mean you need to have a tough heart.
yeah, yeah. And Prabhupada, if you see his purports right now, basically you can see that he's on the side of Arjun, while in the subsequent verses we know that he's going to talk about what Krishna is going to say, and how Krishna is going to prove Arjun wrong and tell Arjun that he needs to fight, etc., etc. Right now, in this particular verse, he's on the side of Arjun, and he's taking
Mm.
his side, he's defending him to
Yeah,
us
yeah,
almost, that, hey, listen, don't misunderstand
yeah,
Arjun, okay? He's not scared, he's not weak-willed here. He's a devotee. He has a soft heart. This is what we
yeah.
need to have. He's defending his fellow
Yeah.
counterpart.
Later on, Prabhupada is also kind to like
Yeah,
shame him and
yeah,
say,
yeah,
say words that are not very pleasing. So,
yeah,
but of course, it's all to explain how these two
yeah.
things can coexist: a soft heart, but a tough act can coexist.
Right. Yeah. One more point that I had here, bro, that Arjun, actually, Arjun is feeling disgusted. That's what I felt when I was reading just these
Uh-huh.
two verses. I could feel his disgust. He's disgusted. He's done with it. He's like, "What am I doing? What are we doing?
Uh-huh.
Like, so many will be killed. My own people are, if you read the first verses translation, it says, "My own people are standing in front of me with a will to fight." Matlab,
Yes.
what is this? Like, they're my people and they're ready to fight me for what? There, he's disgusted and he's just done with it. In fact, you know what? This is the thought that came to my head, that he's feeling what actually Duryodhan should be feeling.
Uh-huh.
If Duryodhan were feeling the same thing as Arjun, Krishna would not have gone and corrected him and told him the Gita. He'd be like, "Ha, chalo, finally Duryodhan has learned his lesson. He's thinking the right way." Right? This is not Arjun's place to think like this and leave the war. He can definitely think like this, be disgusted or whatever. Can't leave the war. But yeah, whatever he is feeling, Duryodhan should actually be
Mm-hmm.
feeling.
Mm.
He should be feeling is that, what am I
Yeah.
doing? What am I
Yeah.
fighting, killing all these people for?
Yeah.
What? For myself?
But the difference between Duryodhan and Arjun, and the reason why Duryodhan isn't feeling the way he should,
Mm,
disgusted, is because the consciousness of both these people, the core of both these people, the way they think is
yeah,
different. The difference is
very different. Yeah,
is is godly quality, God consciousness. And Prabhupada
right.
is writing this
Yeah,
in the purport, where he's saying that a devotee, you mentioned it, a devotee naturally builds the qualities of compassion and other good qualities. Right? So
yeah, yeah,
once you start becoming more conscious of God, once your lens changes,
yeah,
your vision changes, you start seeing everything while thinking of God, you start naturally developing good qualities, qualities of kindness, compassion, patience, empathy.
yeah. I don't know, bro. Like I think you very swiftly escalated things to God now, and I'm like, where did that? We were just talking normal baate kar rahe the. Where did this come
Yeah.
from, bro? Like
Yeah.
what? Good qualities say we have gone to God. Where is this
Yeah.
conversation gone to? Like moral science, we've never heard godly science,
Yeah.
right? So moral and godly actually are not very different. That is exactly what we are learning
Uh,
here. That it roots from the godly state or being associated with God. We might be uncomfortable with it, but yeah, that's
yeah.
where it roots from. And this is one of the first verses that hints that, and we'll be hearing this again and again and again throughout the Gita, and maybe we'll try and understand it
Yeah.
also.
See, a moral person, uh, uh, a person who's not God conscious might be moral, but a person who's
Yeah,
God
yeah,
conscious is definitely moral. Is
correct.
definitely
Yeah,
has good qualities. Person who's not God
yeah,
conscious might have good qualities. Person who's good conscious will
yeah,
definitely have. I was thinking,
yeah,
you know, there are we say ये बंदा बहुत साधु है. He's very
mm,
saintly,
yeah,
very saintly.
mm,
When we say saintly, normally we don't call that person saintly because he's God conscious. We call that person saintly because he has saintly qualities. Basically, he has very good qualities. Okay,
yeah,
we say he's saintly when he has saintly qualities, but actually he has saintly qualities because he's a saint, and saint is meant to be in connection with divinity and God. Are you getting me?
yeah.
We
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I'll tell you very very interesting
Mm.
thing just came up to me right now. The world that we are living in right now, because it's so hypocritical and so disjointed right now. Saintly is actually a positive term. Saint might not be,
Mhm,
because when we
mhm,
say someone's a
mhm,
saint, we attribute it to the externals. Puja karta hai
mhm.
ki nahi, what he wears, what he doesn't wear, what she does, what kind of Sanskrit they speak. That is a
Uh,
saint. But that's what attributes a saint. But a saintly,
uh,
गऊ
yeah,
बंदा है यार, like a guy, like that's such a
yeah,
saintly
yeah,
person. That is a very different
yeah.
feeling. That's when we're talking about the
Uh,
internals, right? When we're talking about the morals and the behavioral features of a person. And that I think that's telling of this age where a saint and a saintly person can be very
yeah,
different. And that's where the confusion can be, that hey, no, I know a person, I know many people who go to the temple but are not good
yeah,
people. But yeah, because those are very two different
yeah,
very things.
yeah,
Like if a person is really devotional, that is when they'll have
yeah,
moralistic values also with
yeah.
them, nothing to do with the
Yeah, so
externals.
us today's saint might be performing
Yeah,
all rituals very
correct.
religiously. Oh
Yeah,
wow! Even
yeah,
religiously is used as a metaphor to
has
explain that he's
become.
doing this every day.
Yeah,
Very ritual.
yes,
Anyhow, ritualistic and
yeah,
ritualistically and religiously are synonyms now. Okay. Anyway, coming back.
yeah,
So, uh, a person might be performing all the rituals religiously, and that's today's modern day saint. But a
yeah,
saintly person is connecting with divinity, is building a genuine relationship with God. It
yeah,
may come with
yeah,
rituals, sometimes it may even not come with
yeah,
rituals because it's a journey,
yeah,
but a saintly person is genuinely trying to see God in everything, trying to see a higher power, trying to see
yeah.
superior nature, trying to see divinity. And what
And as a consequence,
sorry? Yeah,
the morals
exactly.
already develop,
Exactly. Yeah.
they exist. Yeah,
Yeah. So, and we've seen it, through our personal journeys. We've become better people, right? uh, no,
I
no,
don't know.
that's,
I don't know
no,
about myself,
no,
but I'm
your
going to
journey
take other
also.
people's
No?
example there. Yeah, around myself. Yeah, but I've seen this. Yeah, the proof of concept is
Yeah,
there. Um, I mean, I can talk. The stark proof of concept is Prabhupada's disciples. What he made, their before and after pictures look very different when we see
yeah,
them
yeah.
now. Yeah,
Also, there's a very beautiful shlok he's quoting in the purport from the Srimad Bhagavatam. which says
Yeah.
that you actually don't need to do anything extra to develop godly qualities. So
Yeah. Yeah.
today we have so much of self-help, so many
Yeah.
motivational speakers uh, trying to tell us, do this to develop this, do this to develop this. That's an
Mm.
extra act.
Yeah.
If you've ever tried it, it's very
Yeah.
difficult, because you're in your
Yeah.
day-to-day life, you already are doing so many things, and now you have to do an extra act to develop a good quality. Here, just
Yeah.
by building a relationship with God, by trying to be saintly, you naturally start building good qualities.
Yeah. Yeah, the first part that you talked about is firefighting, where we have anger, we have ego, we have rude speaking, we have all these kinds of vices that all of us have in various different degrees. Each of them, if we start addressing
Mhm.
separately, it's
Yeah.
firefighting. Like यहाँ आग लगी है तो
Mm.
आज यहाँ पानी डालेंगे, but the other day some other place will catch fire, we'll put
Uh,
water there. But where is this arc coming
oh
from?
yeah.
Where is this fire
Yeah.
coming from? Where is that root cause? Let's go and fix
Uh-huh.
that first, and that is the second part that you're
Uh-huh.
talking about, where we're connecting to our higher nature. There's a lower nature and a higher nature. When we connect to our higher nature, we've all heard this. Innately speaking, everybody is a good person, right? We just have bad habits or bad qualities that we manifest. That is exactly true, because in our higher self is, as a soul, is definitely innately good. So just connect to
Oh
that
yeah.
level. No, all the other bad qualities that we're manifesting will automatically
Yeah.
go away. It's as
Yeah.
easy as that. Which one's easier? This one's
Yeah. You
easier.
you don't need to go one by one. Okay, tick mark on
Yeah,
anger now. Tick mark on
it
envy now.
won't
Yeah,
work.
yeah, yeah. It won't be
It won't
sustainable.
work.
Like, how can it be?
Yeah, it won't be
Because
sustainable.
you've not addressed the root cause. You're just working on the
Yeah,
symptoms
exactly.
continuously, continuously.
Yeah,
So when you address the root cause, so nicely put by,
yeah,
then it starts to go naturally. This.
yeah. Prabhupada uses this word. I was amazed by it. He says, talking about Arjun, he says this in the purports. One of the purports, he says, "Ki when someone." 'Cause Arjun was just done with this. He was disgusted. Hence, he didn't want to fight. And he gives the example that when one is not hungry, one does not feel like cooking. And he said this, like, when one is not hungry, one does not feel like cooking. Why should I cook? I'm not hungry. And he's lost the taste. He's become distasteful of this whole world, and that's why he doesn't want to
Mhm.
fight. But when Krishna goes on to correct Arjun, Prabhupada gives the other example. I mean, the example that Prabhupada gives will change into, but if you are a cook, like if you're in a position of being a cook, you're hungry or not, how does that matter,
uh,
bhai? You have to cook because you're a
wow. Yeah.
cook.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah, so I thought
yeah,
that
that
was
was
very
very nice. So
insightful.
not feeling hungry is
Yeah.
soft-heartedness, but being a
Yes,
cook
yes,
is
yes,
his duty. So he has to do the
yes.
tough
Yeah,
act of fighting the war or cooking, because he has
yeah.
to fight as a warrior on the right side,
Correct.
and
Yeah,
because it doesn't matter if
yeah.
he's hungry or not, he has to cook. Wow, what a
Yes,
lovely way to explain.
it was a good example. I really liked it,
Wow,
Prabhupada.
joy. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. I think we had a great discussion.
we've run out
Run
of
out of
time. Yeah.
time. Uh, in summary, Arjun is soft-hearted. He's not weak here. Yeah,
Weak.
and despite his
Yeah.
soft-heartedness, he will in the future do his duty. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Lovely
Thank you,
chat.
Prabhu.
See you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Hare Krishna.
जय गौरा